This is one of the most precarious filming setups I have right now. Let me describe it to you. We have my window. It's raining out and very gloomy. It's been super gloomy the past couple days because it's been snowing up in the mountains, but not here. Anyway, window, Kindle, phone. That's all I have to say. We're gonna do a book haul. I have filmed this once before and it was too long and I was in an interesting mood and it showed. So we're gonna go through. I'm not gonna be explaining why I bought things, even though I bought I acquired way too many books. As someone who like made it a goal to try and reduce their physical TBR, I'm not making it easy on myself. This is like 30, I'm going to be talking about 31 books, 3 of which are not here yet. That doesn't make it any better, but I just wanted to specify that. We have Untamed by Glennon Doyle, which is a memoir. Difficult Women by Roxane Gay, which is a collection of short stories. I will say something about this. So this came in the Feminist Book Club book box, and I realized, I was like, am I making the most of this book box and this thing that I'm paying for if I'm not taking advantage of like the author talks? So going forward, I want to be better about reading the books in the month that I get them so that I can take advantage of that element of the box book club, because I was just like, being a little bit silly. The Black Tulip by Alexander Dumas. The Mysteries of Udolpho by Anne Radcliffe. Great Short Poems, edited by Paul Negri. Something I found out when I was filming this yesterday is this is very like well annotated. Well, not that page. But it has like a key and everything. It's really great. So I don't know how much I'm going to be like sitting down and reading this, but I like to have collections of poetry because every once in a while I feel the urge to share like short poems with the world, whether that's like through like making little zines and spreading them around my neighborhood. The Remains of the Day by Kazuo Ishiguro. Cold Comfort Farm by Stella Gibbons. Isn't that lovely? But it's just like, look at their faces. Pride by E.B. Zavoy, which is a retelling of Pride and Prejudice. And Pride and Prejudice is one of the books that I want to reread this year. So I think it would be fun to read that after I reread Pride and Prejudice. American Utopia by David Byrne and Myra Kalman. Some belated Christmas presents. Transgender History, The Roots of Today's Revolution by Susan Stryker. She's great. If you haven't seen Screaming Queens, I want to say it's available on Netflix. But it's a good watch. Odd Girls and Twilight Lovers, A History of Lesbian Life in 20th Century America by Lillian Faderman. Yeah, I do recognize how, like, privileged and grateful I am that, like, these are the books that my mother gives me for Christmas. I do love that. The Poet X by Elizabeth Acevedo. I listened to this on audiobook and it was amazing. Surprise to no one. The Nickel Boys by Colson Whitehead, which I'll be reading with my grandfather. We have a little book club. We buddy read books. It's not really a book club. We like to call it a book club. Song of Solomon by Toni Morrison. I finished reading this for the Black Like We Never Left readathon hosted by Cree Miles on Instagram, and it was great. Again, surprise to no one. A Guide to Being Born by Ramona Ausubel. I'm really scared I'm gonna, like, probably knock this over. Here, let's move you. You can go there. Sleepwalking by Meg Wolitzer. If Not Winter, Fragments of Sappho by Anne Carson. I love Anne Carson, and I would like to read Sappho, even if that particular book is more of a creative translation of Sappho. Still here for it. The Plague of Doves by Louise Erdrich. I need to read Louise Erdrich, and I'm going to start her Love Medicine series this year, because I have a couple of the books in that, not necessarily in order, but I'm going to try and read and then find, and yes. Home by Toni Morrison. The Warmth of Other Suns, The Epic Story of America's Great Migration by Isabel Wilkerson. Both my grandparents are reading Caste, which is her most recent book, and I was like, they were like, you should read this, and I said I want to read her first book, or her previous book first. So they sent that to me because they're like, we have that, here you go. The Namesake by Jhumpa Lahiri. Still Life by A.S. Byatt. Okay, I am going to talk about both. I have multiple books by these authors and have not read any of them. I've read some of Possession. I was about to say Persuasion, and I'm like, that's Jane Austen. I've read some of Possession. I am a fan of this cover. I love me a good painting, but that's another thing. I should read these two authors before I buy any more of their books. If on a Winter's Night, a Traveler by Italo Calvino. Dubliners by James Joyce. I will say, part of my motivation in picking this one up and Cold Comfort Farm is that they are like the blue penguin. Similarly with picking this one up, because it's like a perfect condition of the like red spine vintage, both of which are very hard to find for me living in the US. I found a arc of Nama by Sarah Blake, which I know these are not supposed to be sold, but anyway. The Silence of the Girls by Pat Barker. Oh my gosh. I can't believe that I found this. It's so pretty. Look at that. And not lastly, but last with me is Meander Spiral Explore by Jane Allison. To be honest, I didn't know what this was when I ordered it on Depop, which is how I acquire books. This is literary analysis nonfiction, which I like sometimes, but I definitely really just enjoyed the cover. It gave me strong Bluets vibes. And then, books that aren't here yet, but I should talk about, because I did indeed buy them, are No Exit by Jean-Paul Sartre, The Particular Sadness of Lemon Cake by Amy Bender, and Grief is a Thing with Feathers by Max Porter. Those are the books. Again, I'm trying, on one hand, like I said before, I'm not making it easy on myself to minimize my physical TBR by continuously adding to it at a rate that is like much larger than I like minimize the TBR. On the other hand, these are books I want to read. And who does it help? Who does it help for me to feel shame about these books, about the number of these books? I mean, it might help me in motivating me to buy less and acquire less. But at this moment, we're just gonna accept it for what it is and move forward with the knowledge that maybe I can do better. Thanks for joining me. I hope you're having a good day, and I'll see you in another video.